It's my great pleasure to introduce Naso, Kiryakov, and Vasil Momchev from our good friends Ontotext. Ontotext have been in this space a long time, and really looking forward to finding out the latest kind of direction of the product that they've developed. And I'll be moderating this session. Please say hello, introduce yourselves, tell us where you're from, and also don't hesitate to answer any questions, and we'll cover those at the end. Great, welcome Naso and Vasil, and over to you.
Thank you very much, James. It's indeed a great pleasure to be again part of this conference. We have fresh memories from 1 year ago in London. So it will be myself presenting and Ontotext CTO Vasil Momchev. So I will entertain you with a bit of introduction of who we are, and then I'll share our vision on the market for knowledge graph technology and different applications, and how semantic metadata are the key to put for quite a number of different applications, and how they can improve both data management and content management, and actually put data and content together. Then I'll hand over to Vasil to share with you few updates about Ontotext platform and our database engine GraphDB, and to basically walk you through the different aspects of what it takes to get data in a graph database, to transform them, to make a proper graph out of it, and then to consume them either from whatever tool, all the way from a BI tool that accesses the data through a JDBC driver, to another application that uses it through say GraphQL or other APIs. And then we'll finish off with an overview of our partner ecosystem, because with those wide range of applications of these technologies, there is no single vendor, at least none of these specialized technology providers who can deliver all the applications to you. So we built a partner ecosystem to be able to put the right technology stack in place, and to be able to also deliver it at scale. So let's get started with the introduction. So Ontotext is we started with what was back then semantic web and semantic technology in year 2000, and we had the chance to be part of the avant-garde in this technology, and went through all the evolution through linked open data, nowadays knowledge graphs, well, nowadays we are, like most of our clients, are the thought leaders in different industries and markets, like multinational companies. Still, if we have to count where their headquarters are, it's quite an even split between UK, where we got our first clients, big clients and stories 10 years ago, and then US as a growing area, Asia also, and mainland Europe. Up until a year ago, it was easy to say Europe. Now you gotta say Europe and UK. But anyway, so you see some selection of our clients. I'll talk a bit more about the verticals, but yeah, you see that most of them are precisely this type of really big enterprises. We are not allowed to mention some of them, but that's the way it is. We being part of this industry and part of this community that is developing the trends and setting the standards. We do this through a number of organizations. World Wide Web, W3C being the main one, which not only standardizes World Wide Web, HTML, HTTP, and all these standards on which the World Wide Web is built, but they are also the ones that standardize RDF, Sparkle, OWL, and the stack of standards that we build our technology on. And we had the chance, and we are still very happy to keep pushing our research through collaborative projects. So we are very well interconnected with all sorts of academic groups in this field in Europe. Our most popular product is Ontotext GraphDB. We're getting, I don't know, probably 1,000 or a bit more downloads of GraphDB per month. Yeah, we have an active user community of more than 30,000 deployed instances. So there are plenty of statistics like that, and we're happy that we also see recognition among different market analysts. So Ontotext GraphDB is seen as one of the leading engines in this field. On top of this engine, we actually have a bigger set of a bigger platform, a knowledge graph platform called, you wouldn't guess it, Ontotext platform, which extends what you get out of GraphDB with analytic services and infrastructure for text analysis, for data quality management, and quite a few other things. So this platform, helps you, makes it much easier to deploy, to make knowledge graph centric solutions. But we'll talk about the platform later on in this presentation. So stop here. On the right hand side, you see business cases or the typical solutions that we offer and that we can customize across different industries. Like historically, we started with media and publishing, then we went to financial services. Life science and healthcare is a strong one too. So to finish off with the intro, what makes us unique is this combination of the graph database engine, which is suited for all kinds of use cases for knowledge graphs, and the combination of this database with text analysis services and infrastructure and tools like curation tools and manual annotation tools and so on and so forth that can use and are tuned to use big knowledge graphs for text analysis. As I said, the entire portfolio is based on the W3C stack of standards, and there is also a lot of open source tooling as part of this environment. So the entire front end of our database engine is open source. You can get it, fork it, use it for everything you want. Then the plugin API is open source. We are a supporter of one of the leading open source projects in this space. Probably the biggest supporter historically are the F4J, also for text analysis platforms and so on and so forth. So we had the chance and I had the chance to gather a team with a very diverse set of skills and expertise across different types of technology and science and verticals. I'm not going to list them because that's not the purpose of this presentation. Over time, we realized that actually the biggest asset and the most important thing that we have is this ecosystem of partners, which through the years came to trust Ontotext technology and work with us in different ways. So we have all sorts of consultants and OEM partners, and we partner with quite a few tool providers. And many of these people are actually present on this conference. Semantic Web Company, Metafacts, and a few others. So this was all in terms of introduction. So now let's talk about the market. If I gotta talk to investors, the positive message is, well, this market is doing very well. If Gartner is saying that it will be doubling for another 2 years, 3 years, that's just great. And if you look at these hype cycles and curves, you see knowledge graphs are still going up. So on this peak of inflated expectations. So luckily, we're still getting people who are calling us just because knowledge graphs are hot. But we also see that. And in this case, I can agree with Gartner. We see that this trend is just about to go down to the what they call disillusionment, because what is important now is to see really mature ways, mature patterns, best practices, and tools which can be used to deliver value. So on the bigger picture, knowledge graphs the adoption of these technologies is slower than what my investors would want to see, and probably yours and everybody. The fundamental reason is that that this technology is quite complex. If you make it small, if you just convert a piece of data into RDF, or you convert a taxonomy in and represent it in scores, very likely you will not be able to deliver on all these promises of what this knowledge graph magic does. So you have to use and make big knowledge graphs that can really provide some context and allow better interpretation of the data and better capabilities for linking data. And once we get there, well, it's not as easy. And it takes a while to do it, to get the right tooling and the infrastructure to do it. That's why it's our interpretation why it's slower than expected. We address this by having prepackaged solutions and partnering with other vendors who have such solutions also. So the short story here is that well, there is no single technology. It's not a single market. Knowledge graph technology is in the middle of quite a number of different applications, and actually there is no mature market for it now, because there is no critical mass of such applications. We gotta make the applications, we gotta find our way to the end customers, to really demonstrate the value behind the hype, and then 5 years from now, we can expect to see a critical mass of applications that generates a critical level of demand for the technology. So it's clear that with all the diversity of what's possible to do with this technology, no single company of our size can deal with it. Even much bigger companies cannot deal with this scale. So again, our approach to this is to have a ecosystem of partners that have the right vision for the specific type of applications, and have the engineering talent to implement them, taking into account all the specifics and the capacity to deliver. That's quite often a combination of different players. So that's our mind map of knowledge graph applications. So to us, knowledge graphs are on the bigger picture part of the bigger metadata management story, and the applications go into equally between data management and content management. There are plenty of knowledge management tools which also use this technology, and that's a big part of our best partners, like Semantic Web Company and Synaptica. They are in part of their offerings are in the space of enterprise taxonomies and vocabularies and this kind of technology. This time based on knowledge graphs. Quite often, these taxonomies and vocabularies, they are actually used for better content management. This is the applications that you see on the right-hand side. That's what Google calls insight engines. So it's all about being able to do cool things with content, to search, to recommend, if you're a publisher, for instance, to repackage it and to better deliver it, to extract information, to extract data from it, and so on and so forth. Nowadays, probably the most the most popular application, although probably not the most often delivered one, is in data management. So using knowledge graphs for data integration and analytics. And that's what Gartner would call data fabrics. That's the whole story of what was the data warehouse in the past and how you can use them to do better business intelligence and better decision making. Data management is not just that; it's actually much more than this. You have a range of data governance and cataloging applications, and quite a big number of these projects are about dealing with big databases like master and reference data management tasks, so that you can either improve your transactional systems, either like in our case, we have many projects where we use big volumes of reference data, master data for better text analysis and content analytics. So you see that the range of applications is quite different. Essentially, each of these are already some mature markets. So we have to find a way in which this technology in the middle can contribute to making more efficient specific applications in this market, and find a way to gently disrupt them and offer real value there. So that's enough about it. So to summarize the role of how we see the role of knowledge graphs, the main thing is that they essentially put data in context, and they do it in two ways. One thing is linking. So by interlinking descriptions of different things, you basically help different pieces contribute to each other's description. And then the other thing is semantic metadata. So semantic metadata is king. So you have better formal descriptions of everything that's in there. What is the added value? Well, someone gets better insights, better results, better discoveries through the capability by being able to have unified view on diverse databases, being able to combine structured data from different sources, being able to also put in the mix text documents and other content. Well, quite often what we see is that to get to the right level of analytics, enterprises should combine proprietary data with publicly available data, with global data, to combine their wisdom and understanding of the market with background knowledge, which can serve for better interpretation. That's what we deliver most of the time. So we combine master data, reference data from different sources, what you see on the right-hand side in a knowledge graph, and then we use this knowledge graph to analyze documents. Analyzing documents, we produce metadata which becomes part of the knowledge graph, and this way we put different kinds of databases and content together. Obviously, there are plenty of applications and benefits of doing this, both on the content management side and data management side. So metadata is king. Metadata is everything. If you listen to Gartner, metadata is at the middle of the next generation data integration applications, what they call data fabric. So it's about gathering different types of metadata, putting them together, structuring them, interlinking them, activating them, and so on. The important thing to realize here is the diversity that everything could be metadata. It could be everything from the schema of your database to all sorts of catalogs or taxonomies or reference data, tagging, annotations of content, operational logs, and so on and so forth. So it's really diverse, and you quite often need many types of metadata combined from different systems to be able to make a flexible data integration platform or content management. I'm not going to read through all these citations of Gartner. The baseline is that, well, the only way to manage this metadata and to put it together is a knowledge graph. And it is a semantic knowledge graph, the semantic approach of having formal descriptions of this metadata that helps you put data and content together. So the RDF stack of technologies allows you to do all this there are several features of the standards in this stack which contribute to this, all the way from having global identifiers, which is key for interoperability. Formal semantics is really important because it allows sharing meaning and interpretation without ambiguities, and basically enables much better analytics and combining different analytic techniques. Standardization is someone that everyone in enterprise data management, enterprise content management needs and wants, unless you want to stick with a single vendor. And at the end of the day, it's always about quality and being able to maintain quality. So all means for like RDF shapes and other techniques for validation are very important. All these things are missing with the property graph standard. So they do great job for graph analytics, but there is essentially no standardization, and there is no notion of semantics. There is even no notion of schema. There is no data schema language. So it's obvious that RDF is much better suited for knowledge graphs, and that's what we hear from our clients, being predominantly enterprise data architects. We have built the methodology of everything that it takes to build and evolve knowledge graph, all the way from requirement analysis, data gathering, and so on and so forth, to putting together a semantic data model, integrating the data, reconciling the data, cleaning the data, and then being able to store, index them, enrich them, make them accessible, and enable updates and be able to maintain this knowledge graph. Once you come with such a complex phenomenon, it's not a piece of cake to keep it in good shape and good quality and be able to make all the updates that are necessary. So we introduced the Ontotext platform, which supports quite a big fraction of this stack. Everything that is about allowing data architects and everyone who data management people to collaborate with content management people and deliver value for the business users and the data scientists, which are quite often the consumers of this technology, as part of downstream models or people who train specific machine learning models on it. Quite important role here is dedicated to business analysts and subject matter experts. So part of our offering is a set of tools that allows defining APIs and interfaces and specifying views on this knowledge graph in the middle by experts, by business analysts. So you don't need a big team of programmers to code middleware. With this, I'll finish my part of the presentation. I want to hand over to Vasil to tell you some updates about the Ontotext platform and GraphDB. I'll stop sharing so that Vasil can take over.
Thanks for the excellent market overview and giving us all the complexity of the market around the knowledge graphs and how we can deliver these type of solutions. As database provider, when we meet clients, often we are asked, okay, I understand the concept of agreeing over shared identifiers for classes, instances, and some predicates, which identify the meaning of our organizational data. But could you tell me how should I put the data in GraphDB in your database and how I should really develop applications on top of it? And this is probably the most frequent question we get from our clients when they expect really some sort of mature tooling around the technology in order to quickly develop solutions. In this my presentation, I'm going to share 5 key highlights which has happened this year, 2020, and these are really the major developments and tools which we enable our clients to develop, and partners, of course, to develop faster and better knowledge graph solutions. So the first one is really the data virtualization, which gives you a virtual Sparkle endpoint access to the different databases. Then we enable the mapping with the mapping UI subject matter experts with no coding to generate RDF models around some schemas. Then I'll speak about the data reconciliation, how you really integrate multiple data sets, which speaks about the same type of entities. Then we go to the consumption of the data. Once you have the knowledge graph, how you can let your data scientists and business analysts consume the data. And last but not least, I'm going to introduce the GraphQL platform, which gives you a really fantastic way how you can design APIs also for your application solution developers. And there is an automatic way to interact with the knowledge graph with really minimal coding. Okay, first thing first, data virtualization. Nearly all enterprise data is still stored in relational databases, and there is a good reason there, because these are transactional systems, master reference records, where the information is primarily stored. The most logical question is how I can move the data from relational databases into a knowledge graph, basically. And we give you 2 types of use cases. The first type of use case is I want to make a decorative transformation of the relational database into RDF, or I want to access the database on the fly. In order to enable this use case, GraphDB 9.5 integrates with the OnTop framework, which supports decorative descriptors like the R2RML and the OEDA, which are part of the OnTop project, to give you on-the-fly access to a wide range of relational models like Postgre, DreamView, Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, really a big range of technologies. The design decision we took was to expose every relational database as its own virtual repository in order to make the data locality very transparent for the users. This makes the users fully aware that they are accessing different types of systems. However, in order to optimize the performance, we implement a highly efficient internal federation, where if you federate 2 endpoints which are located on the same GraphDB server, you use a highly efficient internal protocol for data exchange. The benefit is that you get this on-top integration also integrated with all the security features and the GraphDB security model, single sign-on, and all these type of functionalities. So the second feature is really mapping UI, how you can let your subject matter experts and the people knowing the data without coding to populate the knowledge graph. How many of your organizations have most of the critical data in some sort of a spreadsheet, CSV file, or something which is used as a reference model? Using the Open Refine tool, which is nicely integrated with GraphDB and GraphDB Workbench, you can transform any type of structured tabular format, JSON, XML, CSVs, G files, whatever you have, and it gives you an efficient way to clean and cluster the data. Usually once you start with any type of CSV or Excel files, there is a really some type of cleaning. So this is nicely integrated with GraphDB, so you can create a project with the tabular data. On the right side, you can see the new mapping interface, which checks what are the wallet ontologies in the repository, and it can guide the user what are the product predicates and the properties, the types to use in order to generate a mapping, which is then transformed into RDF file. So from this tabular data, you can really record this as a structure. You basically say how you generate the RDF values and how these values are connected. As a next step, it supports 2 modes. One is really the interactive mode, where the user can preview the information, clean it, check what will be the output, but also the tool supports to batch everything, to record the transformations, and really to make it silent and transparent using a batch script. Also, the API supports data streaming, where you can batch really big files and process them on demand. The third big feature is the data reconciliation. And this is the case when you have to integrate multiple data sets sharing the same identifiers. Once again, our focus is to subject matter experts and how, without code, to perform the entity resolution. The data resolution the entity resolution is actually matching the entities into different type of tables. And we say this is a mapping a string to things. By using the graph connectivity and the schema, this gives you really a power subject matter experts in a stepwise process to say how you can reconcile the data. On your screen, you see some American US banks. And the task is really to find the right ID in dataset like Wikidata or whatever. So why this is an efficient process and it requires no coding? Because the subject matter experts can start reconciling the state, like you see on the diagram. Reconciling the US states is an easy task because there is no big ambiguity. Then you can go to the cities by using the state, which reduce the ambiguity because the cities are connected to the states. And later on, as the final step, you need to really reconcile the organization and to pick the right organization. Next, let's imagine that you have the knowledge graph and you passed all the hurdles to put the data in a knowledge graph and the RDF databases. But the next question is, hey, I have a big data scientist and knowledge engineer team, and none of them knows Sparkle. They're really good with business BA type of tools like Tableau, Microsoft Power BI. Could you just export me a spreadsheet and a table in order I can analyze it? No, this is really a forward approach because if you'll be replicating data, which is wrong. Now GraphDB comes with the JDB access, which enables all type of tools which supports JDBC, like Tableau or Microsoft BI, to directly interact with the data and to connect, investigate what are the tables. And you can directly visualize and take the data out of the database. The way how we do this is we define SQL views, which are basically Sparkle results. And these Sparkle results, there is a nice user interface where you put your Sparkle query, you say what is the SQL table name, and the interface, depending on the data distribution, guides you how to use the right SQL types in order to get the results. So below you see one technicality is that this driver will also try to push as much as possible of the complexity down to the database. So if you have a warehouse in the SQL query, it will be pushed down to the Sparkle in order to minimize the exchange between the SQL engine and the RDF database. Last but not least, this is really a very big topic. Ontotext invested in a platform based on GraphQL, how you can really expose knowledge graphs and quickly build and generate APIs. One of the main challenges is once you design any type of a system is that you need to plan for the APIs, and these APIs needs to be synchronized with the schema of the model. Now the GraphDB, now the Ontotext platform can read the data with using this Ontotext platform workbench, the schema of the graph database, and automatically generate the GraphQL API for you. Using this GraphQL API, you can select what are only the required, the permitted operations in order to control the access to the data. For bridging the GraphQL to RDF, Ontotext developed some really key features. One is really a highly efficient GraphQL to Sparkle translation. This seems as an easy task, but in order to get the full complexity, we have tweaked the semantics of Sparkle and having a special execution mode, which makes this really efficient. Also, this is a bidirectional mapping where we using mutations, which can be also automatically generated. You can interact with the data and modify it directly from the GraphQL. This is really very good if you have UI applications which need some sort of a data validation or access control, which is also supported over the schema. Last point here is I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the GraphQL ecosystem, but there is another excellent feature, which is the GraphQL Federation, which allows the integration of third-party services, and this is a service-level integration, something like the data virtualization, but for other type of services. Since this is a very broad topic and I don't have time to go in details, I really invite you to join the later session, which will be led by Jem Rayfield, our Chief Solution Architect, who can give you in the deep technicalities of GraphQL Federation and knowledge graphs and how you can control your knowledge graph via the GraphQL APIs and how the Ontotext platform helps you. Okay, thank you. I give it now back to Naso to continue with the partner ecosystem and how all these tooling and key features we develop as a successful business model using our partners.
Thank you, Vaso. So although, yeah, we have a very capable database engine and we have the platform on top of it that provides a lot of infrastructure and technology, we still cannot cover everything that you may want to do with the knowledge graph before start speaking of applications. So to address this, we have a range of portfolio partners, which are companies like Semantic Web Company, Synaptica, Metafax, Sensor, OnMIM, Mnemotics, Workbench, quite a number of partners who provide tools and platforms which integrate GraphDB. This way we complement each other's portfolio and we can much better address the full stack of needs for this technology. Beyond that, we work quite a lot with different kinds of consulting partners. So we work with some of the biggest IT service providers and system integrators on Earth. On the list there you have like Infosys, Wipro, Atos, Entidata, Fujitsu. These are 5 of the top 10 biggest IT services companies, and they are all familiar with the technology and deliver it to big clients all the way from government to pharma and back. We also have much more specialized, let's call them boutique consulting and delivery partners, like data language in UK and enterprise knowledge in US, Southworks in Korea, and many others. So this is an ecosystem that currently consists of more than 50 partners. So I will even not try to list all of them. And we took care to put it right and have all kinds of agreements to make this ecosystem operate properly. So yeah, we're looking forward to join other partners to complement even further the ecosystem with either consulting delivery skills, either tools. And this is a good point to invite you to the webinar. Vasu, if you can go to the next slide. The webinar that will take place in 20 minutes. That's part of the promotion Pool Party 8 of our partner Semantic Web Company. You see that Vasil is having a very intensive day today. So he'll finish here and he'll be part of the webinar that starts in 20 minutes with Pool Party 8. It will essentially show how the integration between Pool Party 8 and GraphDB makes Pool Party much better performant and improves on the scalability side. And we also demonstrate, Vasu, I think you gotta press next because there is some animation. Okay, part of this demo will be, well, we have a news tagging service called Now. And it works with gigantic knowledge graph derived from Wikidata, GeoNames, DBpedia, whatever. And we use it to analyze news articles. So part of this service will be a demonstration of how you can tune the performance, the behavior of this very sophisticated natural language processing text analysis pipeline by doing small corrections to this knowledge graph with Pool Party 8 and immediately see improvement of results. And this way we show how knowledge management and tailor-made vocabularies and expert work can combine and can deliver value in combination with very big knowledge graphs. So it's a lovely demo. I've been working half life to make this possible, so you still have a chance to join it in 20 minutes. And that's just one of our partners. We are very happy with our partnership with Semantic Web Company. So join the webinar if you want to pursue, and the people from Semantic Web Company tell you more about it. That's everything from us. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
Massive thanks to Naso and Vasil. It's really interesting to see